Good morning, class. Today we are going to be learning the rules of differentiation. In this class, we are going to learn the meaning and application of product rule, the meaning and application of quotient rule, the meaning and application of chain rules, and of course we are going to solve examples on each of these. So what is product rule? Product in mathematics simply means multiplying two or more quantities. So when we have 2 times 3 equal to 6, we can say that the product of 2 and 3 is 6. So product rule in differentiation simply means when we have 2 or more functions multiplying one another, how do we differentiate them? Mathematically, it's stated as when we have y equal to u times v, where u is one function of x and v is another function of x, then the y dx, or the derivative of y with respect to x, is going to be the function u multiplied by the derivative of the function v plus the function v multiplied by the derivative of the function du, or the function u. So we differentiate both functions to find our du and dv. We multiply the derivative of v by u and multiply the derivative of u by v, and that will be the derivative of y with respect to x. Here's an example. We have the function y equal to x squared plus x squared multiplying 4x plus 2. We know that x squared is one function and 4x plus 2 is another function. So we differentiate, we then state it u equal to x squared and v equal to 4x plus 2. And then by differentiation, we find the derivatives. For polynomial functions, we know that the derivative of any statement y equal to a x raised to the power n is going to be n, that's our power, multiplying the coefficient of x, and then you subtract 1 from the power. So when y is equal to a x raised to the power n, the y over dx is going to be n a x raised to the power n minus 1. This is standard for any polynomial function. It's called the general form. So if u is equal to x squared, then du is going to be 2 times x, that will be 2x, and then 2 minus 1, that will be 1. So du is going to be 2x. And for v, the power here is 1. 1 times 4 is 4. 1 minus 1, 0. 0 cancels. Any number multiplied raised to the power 0 is 1. So 4 times 1, we have 4. And the derivative of every constant is 0. So dv in this case is going to be 4. So our dy dx is going to be u multiplied by dv, that is 4 multiplying 2x, and that is here x squared multiplying 4, and then we are going to have v multiplying du. So added to 4x plus 2 multiplying du, 2x. We can now expand it. X squared times 4 will get 4x squared. 4x times 2x will have 8x squared. 2 times 2x will have 4x. So adding these two, we have our dy dx equal to 12x squared plus 4. And that is how we apply product rule. Quotient rule. What is quotient? Quotient in mathematics means the value you get after dividing one number by another. So if we have 6 divided by 3 equal to 2, that means 2 is the quotient of 6 when it is divided by 3. And in the sense of differentiation, the quotient rule talks about how to differentiate a function that is divided by another function. So when we have y equal to u divided by v, where u is a function of x and v is another function of x, then our dy dx is going to be v du, that's the denominator multiplied by the derivative of the numerator minus the numerator multiplied by the derivative of the denominator all over the denominator squared. So let's look at an example. Here we have y equal to 4x plus 2 all over x squared. So here we have y equal to uv, where u being the numerator is 4x plus 2 and v being the denominator is equal to x squared. Differentiating them as we did in the last, v being x squared, the derivative, the v will be 2x, and u being 4x plus 2, the derivative is going to be 4. Our dy dx is going to be v du. So in this case, it's going to be x squared multiplied by 4. So we have x squared times 4. Subtracting u dv, 4x plus 2 multiplied by 2x. That's what we have here, 4x plus 2 multiplied by 2x, all over the square of the denominator. So we have x squared all squared. That's going to give us, multiplying this, we have 4x squared, and multiplying this, we have 8x squared plus 4 all over. From our laws of indices, we know that x squared all squared will give us x raised to the power 4. So 4x squared minus 8x squared is going to give us minus 4x squared, and since this is negative, this is also going to be minus x all over x raised to the power 4. Of course, we can still factorize this to get a simpler expression, but this is the basics of using quotient rule to differentiate one function dividing another function. Chain rule, which is the third rule. As we know, a chain is not a mathematical term, but a chain simply means a series of interconnected things. So when in mathematics, when we have one function being applied on another function, then we use chain rule. This is also called the function of function rule. To understand it better, let us look at an example. When we have y being a function of u, where u is a function of x, then dy dx is going to be dy du, that's differentiating y with respect to u, and differentiating u with respect to x, then you multiply both of them. So let's look at an example. Here we have y equal to 4x plus 2 squared. This is the function of a function because you can write this as y equal to u squared, where u is equal to 4x plus 2 as we did here. So y is equal to u squared and u is equal to 4x plus 2. So for us to differentiate y equal to 4x plus 2 all squared, we differentiate y with respect to u. So when we differentiate this, what do we get? Dy du. And when we differentiate u with respect to x, what do we get? So differentiating y with respect to u will give us dy du equal to 2u. And differentiating u, 4x plus 2 will give us 4. So we are going to multiply both of them. 4 multiplying 2u. 4 times 2u. But let's just remember that our u is equal to 4x plus 2. So that is 4 times 2 into 4x plus 2. And that is going to give us 8 multiplying 4x plus 2. This is the basis of chain rule. I hope you're able to understand something today. Here are some practice questions. Here we have 2x minus 3 multiplying x squared minus 5 plus 3. Here we have 2x minus 3 divided by x squared minus 5x plus 3. And here we have 2x minus 3 raised to the power 4. Solve these questions, upload your solution on Google Classroom, and ask any questions on whatever you don't understand. See you soon in the class.